can see these 2 large boxes behind me. I'm very excited about this. I got a sauna, an infrared sauna. It's like a small 1-person sauna that will fit in a little closet I have in my office, and I'm so excited to set this up and start using it, particularly because sauna and infrared sauna is pretty well documented to be really helpful for detoxification, especially heavy metal detoxification, which is something that I have struggled with in the past. I have tested pretty high, very high for heavy metals, lead and mercury, and I have done a pretty intense detox before, like using chelation therapy, where you basically are taking pills that are binding to metals in your body, but it's very hard on the system. I started getting allergic to the actual medication, so I've always been trying to find other ways to do more gentle detoxification and anything that can help me kind of get rid of some of these heavy metals. So that is something that when I knew that like heavy metals and particularly detox for me was always going to be a struggle. I have several genetic variations that mean that I struggle to detoxify from like environmental toxins and things like heavy metals. So for me, it's like always just going to be harder for my body to handle the everyday things that are coming at us. So I figured I might as well have a sauna in my house that I can use on a daily or very regular basis if this is something that I'm gonna need help with and need to support my body with basically for the rest of my life. That's why I'm so excited to get it set up and start being able to use it. But it's rather large. These 2 boxes weigh a total of like 435 pounds. I am pretty sure I'm going to need at least 1 other person to help me get this set up, and maybe 2, but I wanted to at least get it semi-unboxed and see. There it comes in panels, so it's like 4 wall panels and then like the floor and the ceiling, and it really is just supposed to like snap into place. There's no like complicated tools or anything you need to set it up, so it should be fairly simple. And if the panels, at least maybe some of them, they might be small enough that I might be able to kind of like start getting it set up. I don't know. I obviously haven't even started opening these boxes up yet, so I have no idea how difficult this might be, but thought I would just get the process started in case I might be able to do a little bit of it by myself. I'm actually heading out of town tomorrow, so likely we'll have to wait until I get back and can recruit at least 1 other person to help me with this, but let's see what I can do on my own. All right, got the first box undone. That was the smaller one. It just had like the bench and the hardware in it. So I think that was definitely the easier one to do and not that heavy to move. This bigger one, I think I'm gonna have to wait till I have at least 1 other person to help me with that. But I did get started, got that first box undone, just kind of stashing everything in the corner for now. And we'll get to this one once I get some help. Hello, it is like more than a week later, maybe almost 2 weeks later, I don't totally know. But as you can see, the sauna is still not totally unboxed or assembled, but I do have a friend coming over this afternoon and we are going to attempt to get it put together, or at least as much of it put together as we can before we give up or decide it's too hard or need more help. So I do want to see if I can get this a little bit unboxed before she gets here. I'm not sure I'll actually be able to like even tip that down to unbox it because it's pretty heavy, but I'm gonna maybe give that a shot. I do also need to kind of clean out the closet where this sauna is gonna go and build this little shelving unit thing that I got to organize some stuff that is in there right now. So I'm gonna do that first and give you guys a little bit of an update on some new things I've been trying, supplements, some other things that have been going on the last couple of weeks. And then hopefully in a little bit, we'll be getting this sauna put together. So this is the little closet where the sauna is going to go. Obviously it's just sort of a little storage closet at this point, and I've already taken some stuff out that will need to find a home in there again. And I got this little like rolling cart shelf thing that I'm gonna put together so that I can keep things a little bit organized in there. So I'm gonna put this together, and while I'll do that, I'll give you guys a little bit of update on health stuff that's been going on recently. All right, we did get the whole thing unboxed. I don't know how much of that actually recorded because I ran out of memory card at some point in there. But we got the whole sauna out of the box, all the pieces out. And then by the time we got all the packaging broken down, like the giant cardboard box, and of course there was like a box inside a box. So getting all the cardboard broken down and all the trash and recycling taken out, we basically ran out of time. My friend had to leave. But also kind of thinking it might be more worth it, or like just worth me paying somebody honestly to put this together that can do it quickly and easily and probably with a lot less frustration than I would be able to do it, even with some help. So I might see if I can find somebody that would do that. But in the meantime, at least we did get it, the hard part, I think kind of the hard part done of literally just getting everything out of the box, getting the boxes out of here. And I still have a lot of cleaning up to do because there are bits of styrofoam everywhere, and just it's kind of a mess. So I'm gonna clean this up now, and then I'm gonna finish putting together the little tray cart thing from before and try to get the closet as cleared out as I can so that when I do have somebody come put the sauna together, or if I attempt it myself, we are ready to go. Okay, now that I just have the wheels left to put on here, maybe I can talk and do this at the same time. So I have a couple updates on health things, protocols that I've been trying, or some new things that are coming up. In my last video where I was going through appointments that I was doing, I talked about seeing a new practitioner for the first time who gave me some homeopathic remedies to try, which I did for about 4 weeks, and then did a follow-up with him this past week. And I honestly didn't really notice anything over the 4 weeks of being on those supplements or those homeopathic remedies. So when I met with him again, he redid some of the testing. Also, because one of the things that he had suggested for me was some stomach acid support, because a lot of the testing that he did came up with like sort of low stomach acid issues. But when I tried it, kind of almost immediately I had a reaction to it where I got sort of the burning sensation, and then even when I tried to stick with a lower dose, it just kind of got worse and worse over time until I was like really, really uncomfortable, and so I just stopped. And I've definitely had some GI stuff coming up lately, more so than I usually do. So we tried an HCl supplement. So we might need to do some additional support first to kind of like essentially prepare my body to be able to handle that, or have it be actually helpful instead of really uncomfortable. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit, try a couple of different things, and see if then later I can maybe return to the HCl supplement and see if it's more helpful. So for now, definitely not doing that because it was really not very fun, but have a couple of new things to try. And then I also did a lymphatic drainage massage for the first time, this was another thing that my naturopath had suggested, especially like considering I'm getting this sauna or setting this up for detox support, and I have a supplement that I'm doing for detox support, kind of combining as many of the protocols together that will support my detoxification pathways, which is something I've always struggled with, that we wanted to kind of see, like, if we really hit that hard, do I notice any difference in how I feel? So I had this lymphatic drainage massage, which was really interesting because I almost don't even call it like a massage, like you don't feel like you had a massage, but it's basically like very, very gentle, light touch massage in the direction of your lymph node. The massage itself was really relaxing. Like I said, it was very, very light touch, but the next day, or like even starting that evening, like I just felt very like sort of a deep, intense achiness kind of in my body, which she did say could happen, like that I could definitely feel it later, and it kind of lasted throughout the next day, and then it started to fade away. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. Maybe that means that that's a good thing for me to do, or that it was kind of stimulating something, or helping to, you know, flush things out a little bit. So I'm going to try to do that a little bit more. The woman that I saw has a pretty booked schedule, so it's a little bit hard to get appointments with her consistently. But I think that even if I'm able to do that every once in a while, that could be really helpful and interesting to see how it goes over time. And then the one other thing I did this week was a parasite cleanse. So this was just an herbal formula, like a tincture. So I'd put a few drops in water, take that every day for a couple of days or for a week. You actually do this leading up to the full moon. So learn something new. Apparently, parasites are more active around the full moon, and so you can like get at them better, because I guess the tricky thing with parasites is that they can really hide in your gut. And so when I've done testing in the past, parasites, there hasn't been anything that's really shown up as like, oh yeah, I definitely have a parasite. But because they can kind of hide in there, it can be hard to know just from testing whether you actually have a parasite. So my naturopath again felt like this is something we haven't done before. If there's potentially some little bugs hiding in there that we just haven't been able to catch through testing, this is something that would be worth trying. It's not gonna like hurt me to do it. Even if I don't have parasites, it could potentially even be beneficial just for some other gut dysbiosis, even if I don't have the parasites. So worth taking a chance on it. So for the next 3 months, so this past week we had a full moon, and then for the next 2 months, I'll do the same thing the week of the full moon. You do it for like 3 days beforehand, and then 3 days after the full moon. And it was a little bit intense, so I definitely had some like GI reaction to that. I felt pretty bloated and just kind of like a little bit crampy even. It wasn't super comfortable, and had a couple of nights where it was a little bit disruptive to my sleep. But I just have one more day. Tomorrow is the last day of this week's parasite cleanse. And then again, I'll repeat that 2 more times in the next 2 months, and then we'll kind of reassess and check in on how that is going. So I have a couple of new supplements from the new practitioner that I'm seeing, trying some lymphatic drainage massage, which I will combine with the sauna and a couple other detoxification support protocols. And then the parasite cleanse that I'm finishing up this week and will continue for the next couple of months. So I will say I've had a lot more GI trouble lately, and nothing like super extreme, but just kind of uncomfortable. And it's just been kind of frustrating because partly it feels like some of the supplements or things that should be kind of soothing or healing for the gut have just like, I've had a really bad reaction to it, and it almost felt like it's made things worse, and kind of like, how am I supposed to be getting better or healing if the things that are supposed to be healing are making me really uncomfortable? So I've been a little bit frustrated by that. I haven't had this much actual like GI upset really maybe ever, at least not this consistently. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. If again, maybe there's like some sort of hidden underlying thing like a parasite or some kind of dysbiosis that we just aren't catching through the testing that we're doing. That has been kind of a struggle lately. It's never fun when you feel like you're doing all of these things that are supposed to be helpful and supportive, and kind of feel like things are getting worse or moving in the wrong direction, or at the very least not getting better. Right now it's felt like the last several weeks or maybe even a couple of months there have been more worse days or hard days or pain or discomfort than I've had in a while. And sometimes you do just have to kind of try things or guess and check a little bit and see what happens. But I am hoping that, if I keep trying some of these things, or either the parasite cleanse or other supportive things that I can try, that I can find something that is more helpful, or at least makes me feel a little bit better rather than worse. I think I'm done. It's a little more involved than I expected. And of course there's one random leftover screw. Well, now my closet is ready to go. Sauna is unpacked anyway, but we'll have to see when I can actually get it set up so I can start using it, because I really do want to start using it. Hello, it is a few days later again, but I think today I'm finally going to get this sauna assembled. So I did finally decide to just have somebody else come do it, or at least do most of it. I probably will have to help a little bit, but everything is ready to be put together later this afternoon. This is one of the side walls, so that's kind of the size of, or how, tall it is. And then over here, we have another panel. Behind that is the roof and the floor and the bench piece. And then we have the big glass door for the front with the other side panel, and then I think this is just like a cover up for one of the infrared panels. I haven't actually looked through all of the instructions about how complicated this is going to be, but it's supposed to just kind of snap together, so I'm really hoping that we'll be able to get it done pretty quickly. So I'm just gonna finish cleaning out everything, or getting everything out of this closet so that's all ready to go once he gets here, and just make sure that there's nothing in the way. All right, sauna is complete. It's all put together. Kind of ignore the cord there. So one of the slight, not really issues, but just the way that it fits in this closet with where the plug is, because it has to have a dedicated circuit for this sauna. And basically I had to have that installed outside of the closet to make it work better. So I will have to plug it in when I want to use it, and then unplug it unless I want to have a cord going across my office, which would not be the hugest deal, but I'll probably just plug it in when I'm using it, unplug it afterwards. So also you can see that it's kind of in the center of the closet here, and I have shelving on that side, and this was how I originally thought I would put it in here like this. But what I'm realizing now, because we thought we could turn it and put it on this back wall here, but then the cord wasn't really reaching. So I think my other option is either just to leave it where it is now, although it's not the best for storage. What I could do eventually if I wanted would be to move this shelving, take it off of that wall, put it on the other wall, and then basically shift the sauna over to the right here, more into that back corner. And then I would have more space on this other wall. So I could do that, but for now I'm just gonna leave it the way that it is. It is kind of nice because when I'm sitting here, I can kind of look out my window, which is nice, instead of looking into the closet wall. And I did not actually use it yet, so by the time we got done putting it all together, it was kind of late in the afternoon, and I have found in the past that if I do a sauna too late in the afternoon, it can disrupt my sleep. So I decided not to try it tonight, but I'm gonna give it a try tomorrow morning. It is the next morning. I have the sauna heating up. So you can see it's at 97 degrees right now. I'm actually surprised it's taken this long. It's been on for 20 minutes and it's only at 97. I actually thought it would heat up a little faster than that, but going to wait till it gets pretty hot in there. The maximum temperature you can set it at is 150. So the whole kind of idea behind infrared sauna is that you can do lower temperature and shorter amount of time, but still get the same benefit in terms of the sweat and the detox. Because it is infrared, it's literally heating your body from the inside out instead of heating the air around you. So it's sort of less taxing on the body, but you still get the same benefits. So going to wait till this heats up, hop in probably for 20-30 minutes and see how it goes. All right, inaugural sauna was a success. Definitely got nice and sweaty, took a shower, which is always a necessity after a sauna, not only because you sweat so much and just ew, I don't know how anybody could not take a shower after doing a sauna, but my understanding also is that it's important to take a shower after you sauna because in order to kind of get the benefits of the sauna and the detox process, you want to rinse that sweat off. So you're sweating out a lot of stuff and you want to not reabsorb it. So you want to try to rinse off as soon as you can after you sauna, get everything off. Plus it just cools you down and like I said, ew otherwise. So I think I was in the sauna for about 40 minutes. It only got up to about 125, like 130 degrees at the very end. Definitely took longer to heat up than I was expecting. So now I know I need to turn it on a little sooner than I thought, like before I want to actually get in, make sure it gets nice and hot. But I definitely got a really good sweat out of it. So my goal is just to do it as often as I can at this point. I will likely take a break from doing my red light therapy appointments just to kind of eliminate one thing since I'm adding this in. It's nice that this is now at my house and I can just like turn it on before I go do a workout and then hop in right afterwards and be done. But yeah, my plan is to, at least as much as I can, try to do it daily or at least like 4 times a week and do that for a while and see how I feel. It has now been a little over a week since the sauna was completed and installed. I've used it every day for the past probably 7 or 8 days, and this is what I've noticed so far. So for one thing, kind of interesting, this sauna definitely does not feel as hot as other saunas or infrared saunas that I have used in the past. It's been getting up to about 130 degrees by the time I have let it heat up for like at least an hour, and then by the time I'm in it, and I'm in it for anywhere from like 30 to 45 minutes, it's usually around 130 by the time I'm getting towards the end of that. When I've done infrared sauna in the past, it's felt very hot, like sort of uncomfortably hot, where it's almost kind of hard to stay in there. So with this sauna, the temperature is definitely a little bit lower, and that's noticeable. Like it does not feel so uncomfortable to be in there. I don't actually feel physically super hot, but I am sweating a ton, which is great. That's really the point of having this sauna, is to sweat so that I can support my detoxification systems. And it's just nice that it doesn't feel like suffocatingly hot in there, and it's easier to stay in there a little bit longer. This particular infrared sauna is just far infrared waves. That wavelength is meant for detox purposes in particular. I am no expert on infrared wavelengths and everything, but when I was purchasing this sauna and I was talking to somebody at the company about what I wanted and saying that I specifically wanted it for detoxification purposes, the far infrared waves are the ones that are most helpful in that regard. But with this one, like I said, I'm getting a lot of sweat, I'm getting that detox that I want, and it's just easier to handle, and I don't feel like I'm overheating as much. The other interesting thing I've noticed in just this first week of using it, after a couple of days of using it every single day, I noticed when I woke up in the morning that I had significantly less pain. I usually wake up feeling pretty uncomfortable, like my feet really hurt, my whole body just kind of aches, sort of feels like joint pain or joint aches, and it can be just really hard to get out of bed because I just feel like I'm really uncomfortable. I noticed after a couple of days when I was waking up, like a lot of that pain was gone. And I guess I can't say that I know for sure that it's just because I've been using the sauna, although I don't think that there's anything else that I have changed in that time that would really explain why I've noticed that reduction in pain. I'm really curious to see with continued use if that trend carries on. My goal for the next couple of months, like I said, is to use the sauna as much as I can, hopefully on a daily basis. At least 4 times a week, I think, is kind of the threshold for seeing good results over a long period of time. But again, ideally, if I can use it every day. I am also combining the sauna with a couple other detox supportive protocols so that for the next couple of months I can do the sauna as much as possible. I have just a couple of supplements that also help detoxification systems. I'm doing a little bit of lymphatic drainage massage to enhance that as well. And then continuing to do things like castor oil packs and dry brushing, which those are 2 things that I have done pretty regularly for a long time. If you're not familiar with castor oil packs or dry brushing, those are just 2 other things that can be supportive of the body's detoxification systems. So those are 2 other protocols that I will continue to do as much as I can while I'm incorporating the sauna, and just kind of curious to see over the next several months if I notice continued improvement, if anything else changes. My goal is to just keep doing these things pretty consistently for probably at least 3 months. I usually feel like I need to give things a couple of months before I'm really able to tell if it's working or helping. So we'll keep doing these things as much as I can, and really interested to see what happens. Little preview of some things that are coming up that I'm planning to talk about. One, I will be seeing my orthodontist again soon to talk about doing some more Invisalign treatment and kind of figuring out a plan for a few little things that have been going on with my bite the last couple of months. So that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So if you've been here since my jaw surgery journey and are curious about any of that, I will be having an update on that soon. I also have a really potentially very interesting new supplement that I will be getting from my naturopath. I'm not even sure it's actually a supplement because I believe you do have to get it from a physician, so maybe almost more like a medication, but it's a postbiotic. If you're not sure what a postbiotic is, I'll talk more about it later, but is potentially really, really interesting for more like intensive gut healing. So those are 2 things that will be coming up, along with probably an update on how the sauna usage is going, and of course some other things that are always in the works. So if you have any questions about the sauna or any of the other detoxification protocols, feel free to leave any questions or comments below. Thank you so much as always for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.